So the next important question that comes to the mind is, what are the qualities that a good counselor should have? So let me list out a few qualities. The first one is empathy. Empathy basically means that you should feel for the other person. I mean, I know it sounds a bit emotional and away from professional practice, but basically that is the way it has to be. Because if you, for example, if a friend comes to you for advice, unless you have a very close friendship and you actually feel for the friend, you may not give genuine advice and you may just say for the sake of blabbing or something. Similarly, it goes for the counselor. If a counselor is not sensitive to other people's situation, then it would be really difficult to advise. Of course, then there has to be a very delicate balance, because you should not get involved too much with the person or the situation. So it is just like walking delicately on a string, having a balance between sensitivity and objectivity and subjectivity, you could say. There are some controversies, at least in my opinion, because most of the psychologists, including Dr. Ritu, believes that empathy can be developed or it can be inculcated over time. However, I do personally believe that it is something which has to do with your upbringing and your past sanskars. Of course, that takes it into the metaphysical realm, so we won't discuss it here. We'll keep it for a separate video or a separate article. But the crux of the story is that you need to have empathy, and lots of it, to become a good counselor. And the second one is confidentiality. If you cannot keep a secret, you are not a good person to become a counselor. I mean, you're not a good candidate for a counselor profession, because as a counselor you will come across lots of secrets of people, their secret lives. Some of it you may find even immoral or unethical behavior, but you have to digest it. You just need to keep it to yourself and not keep sharing with other people, because that will just harm your profession and go against your profession also. One more quality is active listening. Now, listening is quite different. For example, if you are listening to my video but you are not paying attention, that is not active listening. Active listening means listening with full attention, and unless you listen to a person with full attention, you cannot appreciate the situation, and then you cannot offer any advice. So that is another. And of course, communication skills, both written and verbal communication skills, are a great help if you have. Of course, these skills, I do believe, they can be certainly developed. So these are the basic qualities of a counselor. It does not mean that if you don't have these qualities, you cannot become a counselor. Of course, anyone can become anything if a person is determined. But these are some of the traits which are helpful, so to speak. So next, get on to the next session.